not too long ago, a friend of mine asked me this question: what is the best business idea you can start in Africa and be able to succeed? This question came after hearing a lot of stories of people who start businesses and they lose, especially in the diaspora, simply because they make a decision based on the wrong information, or they don't have enough information to understand which business area they can go to start successful businesses. The answer I gave my friend, I'm going to share this with you to see what you think. The first one, which I think is a game changer, is to start a business in inventory management and logistics. So we have a big issue in Africa when it comes to inventory management. You have millions of people who are involved in retail businesses, but they don't know how much inventory they have. And when it comes to managing their inventory, they do everything manually. And the people who can afford these inventory management services are a few elite businesses. What if you can come up with software or inventory management software that helps retailers to understand and know with a click of a button, understand how much inventory they have, which product is selling better, how much they're selling, and how much the business is making, which product is running out, which product that needs to be bought, how much they need to buy, where it needs to be bought, and how often. And then it gives them like an overview of their business's performance with a click of a mouse. That will be a game changer. That will prevent them from doing manual inventory count, which is time consuming, but also it hinders their business's expansions. You cannot expand and have multiple locations if you don't have a system that helps you manage inventory. And that's why most retailers never succeed, or at least never expand to more locations, simply because it's very difficult to track their inventories. The second business I gave my friend is to get into production. I know there are so many businesses in Africa who are into production and they lose their products simply because there are no customers. That I know. What's happening over there is everything is seasonal and it will depend on Mother Nature to produce. So that means we produce in this season, but when the rains goes, which goes for so many months, nobody is producing. And that's when you go to the market and found that the price of tomatoes or anything else agriculture related is being sold to double or triple the price, simply because nobody is producing. And those who do, they're not producing enough, or the ones we have, we are importing it. You might be thinking, oh, we need to get into value addition and all those kinds of things. That's okay, you could do that. But before you think about value addition, you have to think about production first, because before you add a value to a product, you have to have the product first. And since we have established that there's no reliable systems that guarantee production all year round, then you have to solve that problem first. In other words, instead of you going to adding value to a product, think about the way you can produce that product consistently and you get the quality and the quantity you need. Then you think about value addition. But if you go there for value addition alone, you are going to lose. That's why you see like hundreds of factories, for example, when you talk to them, when they first establish their factories, for example, they say, oh, we're going to process 50 tons of corn, for example, daily, but now they're processing 5 tons. When you ask them what went wrong, the answer is always the same. We don't have enough corn to process. Why? Because there's not enough supply of corn. And why there is not enough supply of corn? Because we don't have systems in place that guarantee that enough corn is going to be produced. So in other words, the issue is in the production. And once you fix the production, then you can get into value addition. But if you get into value addition without the supply of raw material, it's going to be harder for you. Now, what some businesses do is to partner with farmers and then have them grow corn so that they can buy them. You could do that too, but you still have to get involved 100% to make sure that the farmers you partner with are going to grow the corn they say they're going to grow, and you oversee the entire production processes. You also have to have your agronomists in place to coach them. Otherwise, you won't get the quality you need or the quantity you need. At the end of the day, the success of your business, whatever value addition business you have, will depend on whether those farmers produce that product for you. So in other words, if you're going over there, think about production before value addition, because production is what will determine the success of your business. Now, these are the 2 business ideas I gave it to my friend, and there's so many other businesses you can think about. Let me know what you think in the comment below. Do you think these are good businesses ideas? And if they are not, which one do you think is the best? That's it for this video. Please share, subscribe, and like the video. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.